How we doing today? Hope you are having a long weekend. I guess, right? Take these 3 days off, enjoy 9 days. Go see some family, have some fun. I just wanted to start this week. Lots of good news today. I'm actually willing to come out and say, with everything we're seeing in the market, I can't see us having a recession next year. So let me just talk about just what we're seeing, what I saw in the last couple of hours, right? So first and foremost, Tesla comes out and says over 200,000 pre-orders for that Cybertruck. Again, the one that I think I made some fun of on Friday or Saturday whenever it came out. I think lots of us did, frankly. Then it came out and talked about, I think it was 137,000 like 24 hours ago, and now it's over 200,000. If you do quick math on that, right, 200,000, just say the average price is 50 grand because people buy in the full range. That's $1 billion, right? That's pretty good. And now you're up to, I think yesterday I looked up the F-150 was over 800,000 was the record. Now those are deliveries and actual takes. These are pre-orders, and it doesn't take a lot of commitment to have a pre-order. So there could be some people that won't follow through, but shoot, even if half of them do, that's yeah, Ray, the pre-order is only $100 and it is refundable. Absolutely, I think a lot of those people are doing it for a kick, right? They want the screenshot so they can post on social media, but not all of them, right? Even if you said half the people were doing it for the social media screenshot and won't ultimately go through, that's still $500 million for that truck whenever it comes. What it basically tells me is Tesla will be able to sell, I don't know, for the first couple of years, every truck they make, right? Just on pre-orders, right? Because they don't have huge manufacturing facilities just yet. So it'll be a huge ramp schedule and all of that. But you have to, the Cybertruck will be positive. I still think it's ugly. I still think it is an abomination. But I wouldn't buy a truck even if it was the prettiest truck on the planet, right? I'm not the target market, so my opinion just flat out doesn't matter. So, good for them. And, we are still talking about their release, even on this, real estate channel 4 days later. So, maybe all press isn't bad press. So, you got to give credit to that team and Elon Musk. They've done something. I do wonder if it was on purpose or happy accident, but we'll never know, or we won't know for decades. So it'll be interesting. The other thing that I saw is Frozen 2, this animated movie, has taken off. Did $127 billion. And it was such a high-grossing first weekend that they've actually raised Hasbro, which is a toy manufacturer, because of strong sales of Frozen. Again, why? And I started off this by saying that we're going to have no recession in 2020. It's just because all these things are adding up to the consumer being just fine, right? We are a consumer-based economy. A couple of months ago, I was nervous about the consumer, but you can see now as we head into the end of the year, it's not that it won't be smooth sailing, but in general, I think the consumer is going to be fine. I don't see things that could trip it up. There's always a black swan event out there. You never know. There could be things happening in our political arena that cause people to retrench and see what's going on. But at the moment, I think 2020 is going to be an up year. Interestingly enough, Goldman Sachs came out today and actually said that they actually see the political gridlock in DC being a positive for the market, right? Basically, one side of the aisle, takes the House or the Senate, and the other has this and they have that, and nothing gets done, right? Gridlock is good for the economy. So it's interesting to think that our checks and balances will keep the extremes in check, but that's what they were seeing, and they actually saw the market going up 9%, which is interesting. Just like 2 days ago, I think we talked about them saying 5%. And I think I said, if you gave me 5%, I'd take it. I'd certainly take 9%. You gave me 9% today, you could have my money and give it back if you were willing to guarantee that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. On top of that, the market is up big today. It's a short week, or at least less trading days. NASDAQ hits a record. Kind of the melt up that we talked about with all the negative news that we were trending in October kind of settling. So to be expected. Charles Schwab is buying TD Ameritrade for $26 billion. It is an all stock deal. All stock deals are interesting because, traditionally speaking, that means that the buying or the acquirer is using their high price stock as the trading vehicle versus cash and debt. So that is interesting. Again, companies when cash and is when the dollar is not worth a lot are going to be buying. So we are going to see this. Then basically Louis Vuitton is confirmed to buy Tiffany's for $16.2 billion. So what is that? That's $42 billion in 2 transactions. Then you have eBay selling StubHub to Viagogo for $4 billion in cash. That's interesting, right? I'm wondering what eBay is going to do with that $4 billion. Is it buy stock? Is it pay down debt? Is it, do something? So interesting. 2 more things kind of talk about. First off, it looks like Michael Bloomberg, another billionaire or a billionaire is going to enter the race for 2020. It'll be interesting to see how he's welcomed or not by his peers in the race. He's 77 years old. He's a billionaire. He's going to buy, a whole bunch of TV spots, I'm sure. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Nothing really to do until he kind of declares what he's going to be doing, but that'll be interesting. And then the last thing is, I saw an article about how it's hard to talk about money, specifically with family and friends. So given that we're heading into the Thanksgiving weekend, I would ask or challenge you to at least think about having conversations with your family about money. Maybe talk about maybe talk about some of your goals for next year, right? Do you have a savings goal, right? Try to ease into it, right? Do you have a spending goal, right? Meaning reduction in spending. Do you have an earnings goal, right? Maybe that's the easiest thing. Do you work in a commission-based kind of economy and you want to say, hey, I'm going to shoot for X? Or maybe it's an investing goal. You want to buy so much stock or real estate or whatever it is. I think we have to demystify talking about money. And I think that is part of the psyche of the 40-40 life, right? Work 40 hours a week for 40 years is because we don't talk about money. We just wake up, go to work, come home, wake up, go to work, come home. And we just get stuck on the hamster wheel. So I know people that watch this channel have bigger goals and bigger dreams. That's what's out there for you if you're willing to kind of work for it, sacrifice all of that. Oh yes, Ray, great idea. Maybe look at your retirement savings as well. Most people don't do that. We've got to make money less taboo. Morning LA. Yep. So this is good. So just do me a favor, and it's Thanksgiving weekend. You're gonna be with family, with friends. Let's not make it, a toxic environment and talk about politics or just talk about sports or relive in high school memories. Let's try to get better about talking about money. And again, make it easy. You don't have to talk about big visions and dreams and all of that. Maybe it's as Ray said, just look at your 401k and talk about that, know what's there, or savings, or spending, or earnings, or investing. So, at the end, again, I can't see how we could trip into a recession in 2020. The consumer is fine, right? The consumer just amazes us. To be expected, maybe, right? 3.5% unemployment, low interest rates, strong job market. I just can't see it tripping up in 2020. So hopefully that's seen as good news. I will obviously be watching what happens to housing because that's what this channel is about. But we will see as we go forward. And thanks, Ray. Have a happy Thanksgiving as well. And of course, it's a little time consuming, but I would do it anyway. So it's fun for me. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Take care. Enjoy. Talk to you tomorrow.